with the loser on the blue.
Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah. Oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Cause I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm not gonna get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informant, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got your underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. Cut that game plan. Show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the culture squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots. Ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me.
Thursday, everybody. How y'all doing out there? I hope y'all are good. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Once again to the Bravo with Sheila Network. I am your Thursday night host, the Lady Dawn B. Here to set it off for you this Thursday night, doing what we do. And we want to say thank you to you, and to you for coming in to join us once more. So I don't know about you, but I can't believe that it is already January 15th. Like the year just got here and it is already going. I look, 2025 owed me nothing, but I promise you 2026 is getting everything out of me because this girl got stuff to do. We got places to go, people to see, things to make happen, and we shall get it done. So let's get it on and popping. How is everybody this evening? If you don't mind, please, ma'am, please, sir, hit that thumbs up button. Now that you're here, we appreciate it. It is free 99 to you, but it means everything to us. And while you're doing that, why don't you hit that share button as well? Invite some people on into the room so they can get into this good conversation on tonight. I am excited and elated because one of my very own is my special guest tonight, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So let me do what I'm supposed to do and do it properly. So welcome in, everyone. Once again, I'm your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B, and we are glad to be here one more time. January has proved itself well thus far, and we just appreciate you being here. As you know, the Bravo with Sheila Network is not a Christian-based network, although most of us that are on the panel and in the squad, we are believers, but this space is open to everyone and their thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever your moral compass is. We welcome it here, and we thank you for being with us. Our number one rule here, as we're engaging in conversation, we listen to understand, not to respond, and we respond out of thought and clarity, not out of attack or defense. So we want to have conversation. Help us to grow so that we can just be better as ourselves. And when we're better people within ourselves, we show up better into the spaces that we mix in. We show up better in our relationships of all kinds, work, home, play, all of that. And that's what we want to do. So with that being said, again, everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions are welcome in the chat and on the panel. But what we do ask is that you do so respectfully. That's our number one thing. Main rule is respect. If for any reason disrespect is found in the chat or on the panel, our lovely moderator, she has so many jobs and we just love her. Where would we be without her? Y'all know her, you love her, and if you don't, I want you to say hello because she greets each and every one of you. She is the innate Kenya. She is always in the building with her beautiful self, greeting the people, making sure everything is flowing smooth and sweetly. Hey and nay, thank you, my love. It's so good to see you. So glad that you are here. And as she greets you with the sweetness, should disrespect be found, she also has another finger that she can push the button and also escort you out. Maybe not so graciously, but she's doing it with love because we are serious about the integrity of this station. So Thankfully, we have not had to do any of that, but we always have to put that out there just so we know. All right, all right. So, other than that, I'm gonna save our church announcements for another time because I'm excited to get into this conversation tonight. But before we do, let's see who's in the chat. You see, y'all, I'm putting on my glasses because want to make sure. Oh, and there we go. She's saying, hey. Let's see who's in the building. Oh, okay. Gail Lockley, my Monday night sister. She says, good evening, Lady Dawn B. I'm glad to be joining you this evening. I'm glad to see you. Thank you for coming over and for joining and supporting your sis. She also says, hello to all. We love having you here. We love having you here. Raising Faith says, hey and nay. As you know, and nay greets each and every person. Oh, and look, I know it's special now. Mr. Aloha himself is in the building. Hey, Reginald, we still, me and Dr. E, we getting our plane tickets together because we coming over to get our ladies over in the Hawaii area. All right, we taking these shows on the road. So we welcome you in tonight. Thank you for joining us. Also, Kathy Lindsay is in the building. Hey, Kathy. I'm glad to see all the Monday night people. This is what we got to do to get y'all over here on Thursday night. We got to bring the Monday night, the queen of Monday night. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Glad you guys are here to come in and to support her. And to support the station. So again, if you would just hit that thumbs up button while you guys are here. And we have Bronx Bomb in the building saying Happy New Year to you all. Welcome in. And we appreciate you being here on tonight. Let's see. Everybody's loading in. I love it. Jacqueline is in the building. Good evening, all. Glad to be here. We are glad to have you in the house. Let's see who else we got. AJP 1906 says, hey, Happy New Year. Well, hey, and Happy New Year to you. Thank you for being here. Glad to see you and appreciate you so much. And of course, we would be remiss if we did not acknowledge the Queen Bee herself. That's right. I call her my Auntie Bravo. She is the amazing founder and curator of this space. None other than the Pastor Sheila Ingram herself, the phenomenal queen. We love you. We send you hugs, kisses, and many bravos. Thank you for yielding this captain's share to us so that we can do what we do here on Thursday nights, and that's have great conversation with a bunch of great people. Yes, Eric, I see you. I was just trying to, yes, got you. All right. We got it. All right. So now that we've greeted everyone in the chats, and for those who are up in the what we call the expensive seats, the silent section, we want to greet you as well. We invite you to come on down into this amazing comment section because it's safe down here. We have security, and we want to hear from you. You are welcome here. So I don't want to delay this conversation any further because I'm excited. For those of you who don't know her, most of you do. Our special guest on tonight is one of our very own. She is, I call her my midwife, so it's really personal. And she is someone who I have grown and become, and she's very easy to love, but she has become a very integral part of my life. She is a writing mentor to me. She is a sister to me. I'm the big sister. Well, I think I'm the older sister, but sometimes she's the big sister because you know it's what it is. But she is such a sweetheart. She is amazing at everything that she does. She is a woman about her business. Listen, if you don't want to be somebody and you don't want to go there, don't tap into her, okay? Because she's gonna make sure what's in you comes out. And she does it so lovingly and so graciously. And there's so many things that I could say about her, so much more. And I'm going to bring her up in a second. But I see part of our crew is in the building. And before I bring up our special guest on tonight, let's see. We got our, of course, Bravo sweetheart, the Coach Theo is in the building. And she's going to be joining us on tonight. We also have Eric in the line. But before I bring them up, I'm with y'all. Be real churchy tonight. I'm going to present to some and introduce to others in a moment. The DR.ELAINE Sanders. She is the author of this amazing book we're going to be talking about tonight. I am a woman with issues, but I still qualify. So I feel like I'm in church. So give a round of applause wherever you are. Matter of fact, you know what? Because Theo's here, I'm gonna do my theme song. I think I'm gonna do this every Thursday night. Um, let's see. What's my song? So tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear We Swear, the best conversation and podcast of the year. So cheerio, yell, scream, bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is Dawn B's show. Okay, this is how we kick it off January and all the shenanigans. Anyway, y'all, welcome in. It's gonna be different. Normally, I'm on her side. She is the host of Mondays Beyond the Mic right here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I'm trying to tell y'all. So be ready for all the nonsense this year, okay? Because that's the type of time I'm on. But she is the amazing host of Mondays Beyond the Mic right here on the Bravo with Sheila Network at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have the pleasure of serving as her co-host, and I tell you, I just love being in her presence. So give it up for my sis, Dr. Elaine, in the building. Hey, sis, how are you?
I am well, and thank you. It feels weird being on this side.
I know, doesn't it though? It's crazy because normally you're in the captain's seat doing what you do, and now when it's flipped to the other side, it's like, hey, wait a minute, like what is this? So I'm glad that you are here tonight. I am excited. I think my cheeks are getting hot because I'm so excited that you are here with us on tonight. This
Well,
is
thank
different
you
for
for
both
having
of
me.
us, at the same. Oh, my pleasure. Listen, for those of you who don't know, Dr. Elaine is like there's so many things about her, and I'm gonna let her tell you who she is for herself. But what I will say is she is so gifted at what she does in building people. And when I started my writing journey, and I'm now I think 7 books in, working on number 8. Six or at least 6 of them are written under Harlem Girls as a part of this team, this amazing group of people who just put pen to paper and make life happen. Um, and it's such a blessing. There's no way you can encounter this woman and be in her presence and not come out better. So I love you and I thank you for being exactly who you are to me. And I thank you for, we are God's girls, as I always say. I'm a God's girl, so when you get me, you're going to get a little Jesus. Y'all already know how it goes. But I thank you for writing this book and for all the other books that you've written, but this one in particular in this season, because I think that the message in it is so apropos for the time and the climate we're in. And it's a message that a lot of women, and not just women, but I think men also need to hear it because we disqualify ourselves so easily and so often because of the vicissitudes of life. So we're going to put it in the chat where you guys can get this book. But Dr. E, take a minute and tell the people who you are and what you do.
Okay, let's see. Where do we start? So, I am the co-founder of Harlem Girls Inc. with Coach Pache, and we help people author books who are ready to get out there and start this journey. So, this is book number 9 for me, but it's my first solo project. So I want to leave that there. I'm also the founder and lead facilitator for EMS Methods, which teaches professional development. I'm also a licensed minister. I'm also a mom of 3, and I always talk about, I have 3 children, but I'm a mom of a child with a disability, with intellectual and physical disabilities. And I say that because a lot of times we don't look like what we've been through. I'm a divorcee.
Amen.
I'm a doctor of education. I absolutely enjoy the journey that God has taken me on to lead me to this place. So the one thing that you said, Lady Dawn B, that I realized is that God has called me to empower people. So the intention of everything that I do is that when you leave my presence, if you did not leave better, then I did not do my job. I did not fulfill the mission in which I'm called to do. So I hope, is that
I
enough
love
about
that. I love that.
more?
This, I'm here listening to you all day. I get encouraged anytime I'm around you. It doesn't matter whether we're fooling around or whatnot. But we're gonna try to act. Well, no, I was gonna say we're gonna try to act professional tonight, but we don't have to because it's Thursday
We're
night.
gonna be
It's
us.
different. It's different on this, right? Because we don't know who else to be. But no, you did that, and I love that. If you do not leave do not leave my presence better than I did not do my job. You know, you are definitely called to that make of encouragement and empowerment. Excuse me, I'm the encourager. You're the empowerer. Of empowering people, because when I think of just the weight of your presence in my life, helping me believe that I can. I say you and Coach Pache, y'all are left and right. You're my you're my midwife and she's my responsible adult. And they make sure that I stay on track, with so many things. They make sure, that I do not discredit myself or any of that. They make sure that, I keep pushing until I become. And as they say, the motto of Harlem Girls Inc. is there's more in you. And baby, when I tell you, they will get the more in you out of you, okay? So when y'all see me going buck wild with success, it's partially their fault because they made me do this. Okay, they pushed me to become, so it's not my fault. It's not my fault. But we got some people chat in the chat, so let's see who else came in the room. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, we got Reverend Janelle in the building. Hey, sis. She said, "Good evening, ladies. Dr. Elaine is definitely the truth. 1,000%. She sure as heck is. Okay." Theo, our beloved, dear, sweet Coach Theo, who I'm going to bring her up in a second. She says, yes, she surely is. Listen, this lady right here is amazing. So before we get into this book, let me pull Coach Theo up. Oh, hold on, because this one. The world stops when the queen comes in. Hi, mommy. She would not miss coming to see her Dr. Elaine. She says, good evening, ladies. It looked like Monday night for a minute. Hey, Dr. Elaine. It does. It does look like Monday night. But over here, we reckless. We're a little ruthless. So we a little extra on this side. As the week goes on, we start off dignified, but then something happens when we get to Thursday.
Hey,
Thank you for
Mama
joining,
Monica.
Mom. So let me bring up Coach Theo. Let's see let's see. Here we go. Hey, Coach Theo, how are you this evening, sis?
I am well. How are you ladies doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm excited that you are here. I am
Well,
excited.
thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You know,
And we
I'm a,
should be excited because wait a minute, we got a super chat up in the building. Look at that. Come on up in here. Y'all are doing listen, do not be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't second guess it. Go ahead and super chat and support this network so we can keep doing amazing things. And so we thank you for that super chat from none other than our very own Pastor Sheila. We appreciate it. So as we get into, because when you do super chat, we're going to stop and acknowledge you. So, that's the only time we're going to be rude. Other than that, we're going to keep our manners. So, Dr. E, as we get into this book, because I want to share, and we're going to put up later how you can get this book. I'm going to tell you now, it can be found on Amazon. You can also be found on the Harlem Girls Forever Inc. Website. You can go to either one of those, purchase it. I promise you it's going to bless you. I promise you it's going to change your life. It is going to open your eyes. It will help to confirm some things. Listen, it's just going to be a great gem that's going to push you to your next. So my first question to you tonight, we're going to dialogue, is what made you write this book?
That's a great question. So, this book has actually been about 15 years in the making. The title came as a result of me going through a difficult time in my life and trying to realize or ask God, was I still qualified to do a thing? And in that moment, I felt like
Mm.
my world was shattered. I felt as if my my value was diminished. I felt in that moment that I was confused. I was just every you can think of, unsure, unclear, all of the uns. I was at that moment, and literally, I was in a service, and I do talk about it a bit in the book. And it was like God had come and wrapped his arms around me and whispered in my ear, "You are a woman with issues, but you still qualify." And it's nothing like having the Father validate you.
Come on.
But I couldn't write the book
Nothing
then.
like it.
And so that's the key. It was like I heard God, I preached that. However, that title stuck with me and it stayed with me until he said last year now.
Mm.
Because it would have been a different book. It would have had the same title, but it would have been a different type of book that many years ago.
I get it. I get sometimes. Sometimes God has to finish it. You have to finish out the journey of your story. He has to put the period on the end of it. He gotta before he releases you. It's funny how you would think in writing a book most of the time you would get a title and go from there. People don't understand that that's not always the way it works. Sometimes you get the meat before you get the title and the message. So yes, everyone, please support and purchase Dr. Elaine's new book. I'm a woman with issues, but I still qualify. I guarantee you, and we're not gonna, we're gonna touch on a few things in it, and then we're gonna continue to talk about it because Dr. E, she runs a tight ship, so we're not playing with it. Okay, we're not playing with it tonight. But when I thought about the title of we're not playing. We're gonna get all out of her we can while she's here. Okay. The title alone grabbed me. It made me stop and think of all the things, even with the successes that I've experienced. And I said one of the things this year, I think when we did our first 2026 show or ending 2025 and 2026, one of the questions was, I think, what was one thing that we were going to do in the upcoming year? And my response to you was finish what I started. I'm determined to finish the things that I started. And when I thought about the title of your book, I thought about all of the things that I've started but didn't finish. And then I thought about why didn't I finish them? And then I thought about the fact that somewhere along that journey, I realized I had some issues. And I thought that those issues were what was taking me out of the running to do this thing. So the latter end of the title, but I still qualify. That kind of kicked me in my behind to be like, oh, get back in there, get up and get back in. Like you got to finish this thing because things did not stop you as I thought that they did. It was that I stopped. I let them stop me. So just from the title alone, that just it put me in a different headspace. I said, well, I'm gonna finish what I started. So Coach Steele, what about you? What did you think? What was the first thing that came to your mind when you saw the title of this book or thought about it?
I mean, I think when I saw it, I was like, how can I get it? Right. So I think I pre-ordered it literally because I was like, wait a minute. I knew just from the title that the book was gonna be fire. Right. I knew it just from the title.
Well, thank you.
But also because I remember when I first met Dr. Elaine, I was in a dark kind of like space, and my first encounter was hearing her speak, and I still was going through the journey, but it was like she was there. So literally, I will tell you, when you hear her speak, when you leave her presence, Even if you're not ready to step into it, you are empowered. So
Thank
I
you.
knew this book was going to do the same thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's yeah. So listen, if the title is calling you, then you need to go get it because there's something in it for you. Absolutely. Um,
I mean,
Dr.
there is
Eda,
something,
how does that
there is
feel?
something
Like,
in it for everybody. There is something in this book for everybody. And chapter 2 actually speaks about that.
Okay.
and it's not just for women, like men too. So while we're going, while Coach was talking about the chapters, so I'm gonna read the chapters that are in this book, and I want to ask Dr. E, which one of these chapters maybe was your favorite to write, or was your heart? Like, what speaks spoke to you the most out of this? So the chapters are, because we don't want to way we want to touch on some points because we want you to go get it, but I want you to hear what is in this book. First one is Low Iron but Strong. Then The Nameless Woman and the Hidden Fight. Then Are You Willing to Fight Through the Crowd? I'm gonna tell you that was the one for me. The Internal and External Fight. The Hand versus the Hem, activating your faith. Now that'll preach. You know, I had to catch myself. I was going to go get my towel, my juice, and take on all that.
Well, listen, if you preach it, just send me the
Isolation
snippet.
and invitation. Desperation meets reparation. God interrupted his schedule for me, my Lord. Faith is a verb. Wholeness is your portion. And then takeaways. Was there any one of these chapters that was like your favorite to write? Was like the heart of what you were writing?
I would definitely say, I mean, to be honest, I like them all. But I think if I had to say my favorites, so I don't think it's one, it's Are You Willing to Fight Through the Crowd? And The Internal and External Fight, and God Interrupted His Schedule for me. Because if you go back to what I said earlier, I was in a dilemma and I felt like worship was happening, all of this was happening, and he interrupted everything to just whisper to me. And it validated what I needed to be able to say, okay, God, I'm not forgotten. You hear me, you see me. And if we think about it, what do we always want to be? Seen, heard, and valued.
Hmm.
So with
Amen.
that
See,
being
this is
said, it gave me the validation that I needed to go forward in that moment. And from that moment to this moment, it is the thing that has carried me to say, God hears me.
Mm.
we are twins. This is another confirmation why we birthday twins and why we twins, because those three have to be my favorites. Also, just the titles of those chapters alone, they are so in sync with each other. It's like for me a whole circle. It just brings it all together. Are you willing to fight through the crowd? Uh, we got to understand there's some things that we got to get that we want to get, but it's going to cost us something, and we got to be willing to come out of the ordinary. And just the internal and external fight. Just thinking about the process that we have to go through to be even willing to go against the crowd. And then God interrupted his schedule for me. We twins, we twinning. So
And
I
if I
want to
can just
just pause right there. Yeah.
No, I was going to say when we talk about the internal external fight, I think that's something to your point. Whether you're a woman or a man, we all go through that internal external fight. We hear what we know God is telling us to do, but then we've pulled back. And one of the things that I would like to think about is, and I know this is not, as you said, we're God's girl, so I'm sorry, tonight you're going to get Jesus. So with that being said,
No apology.
it's in that internal, God tells you to go. Then we wait and we procrastinate. Then we doubt. And if we think about it, what does it tell us? The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So anytime you doubt yourself, the first thought had to be God, because the enemy can only imitate. So he tries to come to steal, kill, and destroy, to talk you out of the very thing that God has told you to do. Because if we think about it, when we listen, when God tells us to do something, it's always something we're like, huh? I'm not doing, like, why would I do that? So you know
Mm,
it's not your flesh,
For
you know
sure.
it's not you, you know it's not something you would do in your own strength, but it is a part of your purpose. And most people, I say this often, and most people don't believe it, but I'm an introvert. I am, leave me to myself, I'm good.
Me.
However, when I'm moving in purpose, I become an extrovert, or what they call an ambivert,
mhm,
because I understand the assignment.
mhm,
And when we're clear on our assignment, the first thing that the enemy tries to do is build distractions to throw you off of your assignment. So had I quit 14 or 15 years ago, right, we wouldn't be here in this moment, because I had to fight through the crowd, the noise in my head, the noise on the outside, the internal,
mhm,
external fight. And that's a constant thing. And I can't remember who said this, but it was one, like a theologian, that said, you can't stop birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building a nest in your hair.
mm.
And I think that's where we have to
That's
go. I
good.
can't stop the birds from flying over my head, but I can stop them from building a nest in my hair.
Mm.
Listen, y'all. This is why she's Dr. E. This is why you need to go get this book. This is why it is not just for women. It may be pulled from an example of a woman in the Bible, but it is a human issue. It is a human cure. It is a human, an empowerment for human beings. We're not, issues don't have gender. Problems don't have gender. Some may
Mhm.
fall a little more on one side, but we all experience them. And somebody's healing, some man's healing is resting in this book. And I hope that they don't get caught up in the fact that it says, I'm a woman with issues. Listen, bro, cross out the WO. If you have to buy the book, cross out the WO. Do whatever you got to do.
I love
But
that.
get it so that you can get
Yeah.
it, because you need to get what's in here for you. Because
Yeah.
that is so good. Welcome in, everybody. Hold on, I don't want to be rude. Want to make sure we greeting the peoples. Angela Dawson is here. She says she is here and she is watching.
That's my
Thank you
sister
for
in
coming to
love
support Dr. E. Hey,
on
sister in
YouTube.
love, welcome in on a Thursday night. All right, Monday people, y'all showing out today. I love it. I love
Hi,
it. Come on
Arnita.
over
Thank
here
you
to
for
Thursday.
joining.
Welcome and none other than the coach AJW, the poet is in the building. Hey fam, what you doing on that side? I'm gonna leave you alone for the moment. Let's see. Reginald says, "Aloha, Dr. Elaine. Rocking the hat. Brought the book
Well, thank
for
you.
my sister. She's on a cruise, and she just called and said, I finished the book. Lady on the cruise asked her about the book. She loves it. So look, your work is going across going
Yeah.
across the
It's
seas.
international.
People on cruises asking for it now. That's right. Come on, speak it. It is, in fact, we didn't even have to speak it. It is so. It already happened. That right there. That's right. Get it. I promise you it's going to bless you. I'm going to reread it. Welcome in, Brian. Says, congrats on your book,
Hey,
Dr.
Brian.
Elaine.
Mm.
You.
This is a great book. It is. It absolutely is.
Thank
I'm
you,
telling you, you
Arnita.
do not want to miss. Go on Amazon, go on Harlem Girls Inc. Forever, go either website, go on both, go get it. It's going to set you up this
Yeah.
year. Dr. E, what you said, it just made perfect sense. The way you just broke that down, so that people understand the challenges, that we go through. Because sometimes we go through stuff and we don't understand it, but when we can go through it with an understanding, we go through it better because you know that there's something on the other side, like the outcome on the other side, that there's something amazing waiting for you, and that it's not in vain. Because who wants to go through something for nothing? Nobody does. But knowing that when you come out on the other side of this, you're coming out better, you're coming out stronger, and you're coming out with God on top. It's all right. We could preach over here tonight. I don't mind. It's gonna be what it
You know,
is. It's gonna be what it is. Let's see. Go ahead.
no, well, you can read the
Oh,
comment and then
Angela
I'll
says, okay, she says, hi, my sister in love. Hi, Lady D. I will get the book. Yes, ma'am. Get it today. Get it. Matter of fact, get it yesterday. How about that? Now, come on.
I love
So
Annette.
what
Thank
were you
you,
going to ask?
Renee. No, what I was gonna say to your point of that's the businesswoman.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's right. If you purchase it from the website, my profit margin is better. I love that. Thank you. What I was going to say, it reminds me for those of us that's old enough, which I think we all are, about the bionic woman and the bionic man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember or the $6 million man, right? The whole purpose or thought was they were injured, and then they said we can rebuild them, and that's what I think about when God gets a hold of us. He says, whatever you've gone through, I can
Mm,
rebuild you. And the very thing that was supposed to be taken away from you becomes the very thing that's more keener, is sharper. Your
mhm,
ability to do what you do was different. So what I realized then, what what was the enemy after? My voice.
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
And that was a
that's
decision
good. That's
to
good.
say, am I going to lay on the operating table of God and allow him to strengthen the chords, strengthen my thinking, strengthen, because a
Mm.
lot happened in between there to there. I went back to school, right? He's rebuilding me. I went back to school. I
Mm.
started to just branch out and do things that said, okay, you're more than just a mom. You're more than your story. And you have the choice to either put a period or a comma where this is. And so many times we put a period where God has put a comma
Mm.
because we give up.
Yes.
So for me, like you said, whether you scratch out the WO and say, I'm a man with issues, but I still qualify, you take those principles and you say, regardless of what I'm going through, if I'm willing to put a comma opposed to a period, then my story's not over.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the
Come
point in
on.
the of this, that I still qualify. I don't care what it was that I've gone through. For me, it was, people, oh, well, you're divorced and this is what that means. No, that didn't end my story. Someone else could say you could have went through a scandal, or that didn't end your story. You could have had a health issue that you thought that didn't end your story, because you're still here. So it's, what do we do with the pieces? First of all, we need to make peace with the pieces. When he
Mm.
puts them back together, to
Okay.
say, yep, that was a part of my story, but I don't live there anymore.
Mm.
Dr. E said, y'all better move. That's what she said. Y'all better move. Okay. She said, we don't live here anymore. That's what she said. I heard what she said.
But
Living in our issue anymore. And I love that
it's
because a lot of us,
I was gonna say I think it's been a journey too, because I think when I first met you, I pre-ordered the first book was from Broken to Beautiful,
Absolutely.
right? And then you had the Bonds and Breaks of Sisterhood, right? And so now, like, so it's like it's been that progression, you know.
And I think, to your point, this is my first solo project.
Mm-hmm.
So it's first finding your tribe and getting the strength to walk on your own, and
Mm-hmm.
knowing who you connect with, because everybody, there's a lot of people who, like, everybody's my friend. If you know
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm like, no, I know a lot of people, but everybody ain't
Mm-hmm.
my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to have those that you can lean on
not.
while you are rebuilding or regaining your strength. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like in the Bible, the man with the four friends. Do you have four good friends that's willing to take you where you need to go so that you can be healed.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody can't carry the weight of who you are.
Mm.
Nope.
And I think that's a part of it. Sometimes we're leaning on people who want to carry us, but they can't because the weight of who you are is too heavy.
Yeah. Mm.
Amen to that. You talking good. I'm loving it. It made me think about the fact that even when we're in that transition, sometimes the people who's going to carry you to your next are not who are already in your next.
Yep.
And they're not always going to find them in where you are now. Like you really got to be willing to switch circles alone. So we thinking that the people that are around us
Yep.
now are supposed to be who carries us to our next. And that's not necessarily so. We still struggling in our issue because to leave the circle that you got to leave the toxic environment. Find your next tribe, and they will carry you to the next. You know, um, yeah. Listen, Dr. E talking real good. She done got me started. Janelle says you preaching, ain't she though? Ain't she though? We gonna take an offering
Now,
for
when
the
a
doctor
preacher
on
tell you
tonight.
you
We gonna
preaching,
have some
it's all
juice in the
right.
towel in a minute.
Yeah.
Right. Says Pastor Sheila says the book touches your heart to continue to be what you were born to be. Heartfelt book. Amen to that. Welcome in, my Lily. She says, "Good night, ladies. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it, my beautiful sister. I am so glad you are here." And Gail Lockley says, "That's right, Dr. Elaine. Listen, this is good, and we're just talking, y'all. We're just talking
Mm-hmm.
about a little bit, so you can imagine what you are going to experience in for yourself when you get into this book. When you start to open, I'm telling you, go over to. I mean, we ain't even talking about Amazon. Go over to Harlem Girls website and order it today, like yes,
Yes.
2 days ago. Okay." Um, I want to bring up a few points within the book because I want people to again, we're not gonna give it all away. I just want to highlight a few things here. So in the first chapter, which is low iron but strong, one of the points you made is that her will was stronger than her weakness.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us, like, how do we get to that place where our will becomes stronger than our weakness? Because we sit in it until. So elaborate on that for us, Dr. E. Give us a little something.
This is where they say talk about your ancestors. So my grandmother used to say this: no one has to tell you when you had enough, you'll just know.
Mm.
So low iron and strong will, when your will had to fight to move, or I like to think of the Ike and Tina incident. Tina knew when she had enough. That limo ride was the last ride that this was going to ever happen. So when you become sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you will move. And you will move against the crowd. You will move against the circumstances because you're tired of being where you are. And sometimes we have to either be backed into a corner where now we have no other choice but to come out fighting. And sometimes we sat in this place or this place of Lodi bar too long, and then we have to come out fighting. But we
Mm,
something that has to lock in that says, I'm getting up from here. This will not be how
I
my
love.
story ends. I promise you. This is not how my story ends. And I remember just saying, no, this ain't it. I'm more than this. And that's where our logo comes from, right? Harlem Girls Inc. There's more in you.
Mm-hmm.
Because just when you think you've reached a plateau, there's another level of pushing. If we've worked out at a gym, you like, if I could just do 10, and then suddenly the trainer will go, give me 11. You like, man, I just got to 10 because there is more. You have an 11 in you, but
Mm-hmm.
we like, no, I'm good at 10. No, push. We got to keep pushing to build that muscle to come out to be the next and best version of us, because somebody is waiting on your story, my story, so that
Yeah.
they can be the best version of them. So everything that we have gone through, everything that we're going through, it's not about us. Actually,
Mhm.
it's about helping somebody else and being the blueprint for what it looks like.
Yeah. So go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am. I just, I love that, and I agree with it so very much. Kathy says, absolutely, Dr. Elaine. Um, one thing that I've come to realize, and that just to touch on your point, when I made it make sense in my own life, why everything is so heavy and so hard and so difficult, it reminds me of the fact that as women, we are born with however many eggs we're going to have, in our entire lives. We are carrying, it's what we're carrying within us all this time. And in the natural, it translates to a spiritual, but natural, it translated for me to the fact that, like you said, this journey is not about me. It's heavy because of the people that I'm carrying, the assignment on my life, the lives that I'm supposed to touch. I'm not just pushing for me, I'm pushing for them. And if I am just meant to be the doorman, people don't realize how heavy the door is, because most of us are just walking through it. We don't know how heavy the door is until it's our turn to pull it open, you know. And so it makes sense when you start thinking about it in the sense of your assignment and how it's really not attached to you, but to the people that are assigned to you for you to open and release. I love that. Listen, I can stay there all day, but I'm gonna jump over to chapter 3 real quick, which is, are
And
you
Theo
willing
got,
to
look,
prepare?
Theo
Whoever
got a
that was
hand
for
up. Theo
before,
got a
I
hand
hope
up.
you
I
guard
want
it.
to talk
I hope you
about
guard
I want to talk about chapter 2 for a minute. I want to talk about chapter 2 for a minute. Because for me, reading The Nameless Woman and the Hidden Fight, what stuck out to me is when you said she is remembered
it.
only by her only by her condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, she was known only by her condition until she took that fight to get through that crowd, to touch the hem, right? So that it was not only about her condition, right? And so that like just that just stuck with me, right? Because how many of us get so caught up in what we're going through, what we're dealing with on a daily basis, and until we dig ourselves out of it, right? That's how people see us, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then we begin to see ourselves like that. So for me, that was powerful. And then also when you said we don't even know her name, right? Because the text wants us to understand that she's universal. She's
Mm-hmm.
all of us,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
And if I can, a part of that is not people knew her by her condition. That's reputation.
yeah.
You think
Mm,
about the person when you were younger and they had a nickname. Oh, remember Stinky?
Yeah.
Or remember so and so? And you only remember the incident, right? You like, I wonder whatever happened to the boy that did or the girl that did. You remember the incident, you the
Yeah.
reputation, and that's what stains us a lot of times, right? And I
Mhm.
wouldn't use stinky, but that's what stains us. That people will remember what happened. They won't
no
remember
stinky.
your,
Yeah.
they'll remember the situation.
Mhm.
And reputation is what follows us. I mean, my mother used to tell us all the time, you want to keep your reputation clean. If you're going to do something crazy, go do it on the other side where nobody knows you, because you want to keep your reputation
Right.
good. Because your reputation follows you.
Mhm.
So you could have the girl in junior high school that was underneath the bleachers. She's now a nun, and people are like, she a nun? That was 30 years ago, and people will still remember the bleachers.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're
yeah.
talking right. People will remember what you did above who you are every time.
Yeah.
Every time. That is so good. I love it. And yeah, they will remember your issues above everything else. Thank you for causing us to pause, Theo. I'm just like, I'm so excited. I hope y'all hit that thumbs up button on tonight. And welcome, welcome in everybody. Those of you in the silent section, I know you're gonna come get into this chat tonight, but I ain't gonna push you. It's all right. We see you. We love you. Kathy said this is real talk, right? This is what we come to do. We want listen. We don't pull no punches. We don't sugarcoat nothing on Thursday nights. Okay, not that we do it on Mondays. Mondays we a little more smooth and stuff. We keep it, like on Thursdays we just extra. We just a little more raw. But I love it. I love it because if we don't get down to the bottom of it, if we don't call it what it is, how do we ever get better? How do we ever get to the root of it? We don't want to just keep band-aiding things so that it heals on the surface, but it's never made whole from the inside. So we got to talk about these things. And this book is going to help you come to terms with some stuff. So I want to jump to chapter 3 for a moment. I'd say I knew we wasn't gonna get through all this in one night. I knew we wasn't going to. It's okay because we just have to pull Dr. E back. We just have to bring her back again. But chapter 3 is: Are you willing to fight through the crowd? And in this chapter, 2 points that I highlighted that you elaborate on is to walk into purpose. You must move against the crowd, and then you touched on moving in silence. Those two things I think are so key. We overlook, we're so busy trying to be in the crowd, trying to get the crowd to come with us, trying not to break away from the crowd, that we neglect to realize that our purpose cannot be found until we really pull away from everybody else, because when you're in the crowd, you're trying to be everything everybody else wants you to be comfortable. God didn't call us to become the light. I know he calls me to disturb some atmospheres and some things. I know he's caused me to. It's just what it do. It's what it is. And I'm okay with that. I love that you mentioned about to walk in your purpose, you have to move against the crowd. And then doing so, moving in silence. Because a lot of us, again, we want to announce what we're doing to everybody to get validation, but there is a power in moving in silence that is incredible. So can you touch on those 2 points as well?
Yes. So I want to start with the noise or moving in silence. A part of it, you think about most of us, and if not all of us, when we are in the noise, is distractions. We can't fully focus, but it's in your silence when you hear everything, right? Think about even doing the podcast. That is the one time we tell everybody, be quiet. I'm about to do, because it's in the silence you can get the work done. But when it's a lot of noise, it's distracting. You're looking here, you're looking there, you're looking everywhere, but where you're supposed to be focused. So, and even in being silent, it also builds confidence, because now it's me and God. I didn't have to make a public announcement. And like we've heard that saying, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the call, right? And he didn't make a conference call when he decided this is the path that he wanted for you. So you don't need everyone's permission to move the way he's telling you to move. And because if we need validation, and that's a part of us that we got to check in, because if my self-esteem is off, then I am going to misstep because I'm looking for other people to tell me it's okay to do something that God had already given me the green light for. So that's one. And moving against the crowd, it's being able to say, you don't see it and I'm okay with it. Moving against the crowd means I'm not going over there because it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't align with my purpose. It doesn't align with my passion. It doesn't align with where I'm going. And sometimes what we have to do, and you said this earlier, we got to switch tribes, right? This tribe was only good enough to take me here. But now where I'm going, I need to now go. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean we can't hang out. It just means at this part of the assignment that's over my life, what I'm carrying is too important, right? Think about it. If you had children, you didn't just put anything in your body, you didn't just do whatever. You were very careful, you were very cautious, you were very intentional about everything that you did because you knew the seed that you were carrying had purpose.
Mm,
So it's the same thing. And to your earlier point, women are, in this case, we have these eggs and so on. So we don't know who we're carrying and what we're carrying. We can take it to one step, but what we carrying may take it to the next step. So we have to realize it's not about me. It's about the legacy that I leave behind and the blueprint that I've written out so you can get there.
I think another great thing about this book I love is that after every chapter, there's reflections. Right. And so I just love that section. But then I also was like, wow, I wish she would have did a journal book with this. Like, I wish we could have had an
It's coming. It's coming.
Right. But I just think it, because not only do you get the richness
Never know.
of the of what you wrote, but then it also makes you stop and really think about how does this really impact the journey and the walk that I'm on when you really sit down and answer the questions, right?
Yeah. And the affirmations. Because
Yeah.
after every chapter, there's the reflections and the affirmations. Because sometimes it's funny. I'll share this. I gave my children, when they were younger, affirmations, right? My oldest daughter, when she was probably 3, hers is or was at that time, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Every day, I would say, what's your affirmation? She would say this. Now, when she got older, I stopped, saying, what's your affirmation, right? She's 16. I'm not asking her. When she went to college and in her freshman year, they asked them to write about something that meant something to her. Do you know she wrote about that? And she literally wrote a paper about I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me in college.
Wow.
So the power of words, the
That's
power
beautiful.
of
Yeah.
affirming, right? That, she graduated last year. Happy mom. And I even said to my son, one of his
Yes, that's
affirmations,
why I keep.
I'm a child of purpose and I will fulfill my destiny. I will
Mm,
live and not die.
mm,
Right? I'm raising a Black son in America. So since he was little, he would say, I am a child of purpose. I will fulfill my destiny.
mm.
So those affirmations that I gave
Yeah.
them, and I would say, what's your affirmation? What's your affirmation? What does the Bible tell us? Train up a child in the way they should go. So when they get older, they won't depart.
Mm-hmm.
And as a part of that, I think we have to realize we know that there's power in words. Because if someone called us a negative word when we were little, we still remember. Because words hurt. The biggest lie they told us was what? Sticks and
Mhm.
stones break your bones, but words, that was the biggest lie. Words hurt. So
Words.
if I affirm who I am and understand where I'm
Like
going, then it
it.
puts me on the journey.
Yeah. There's a question in the chat.
Okay.
Um, it's from
Yes, I'm gonna get that in 1 second. I just agree. Interrupt while we flowing with the flow, because that's what we do here. Landon, welcome and good to see you, beloved. Says yes, indeed, in agreement. Also, we have our sis Paris Von Thomas is in the building. So good evening, beautiful. Good to see you, beautiful. And Reginald says, Dr. Elaine, was it intentional to write this book universal for men and women? And before you answer that, let me just read his second comment, which says, I love that, Dr. E. You were intentional and deliberate when teaching, instructing your kids. I'm sorry, I am off today.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now back to Reginald's question. Thank you.
Yes. So I was intentional about it because think about it. Had I written this book, like I said, when I got the title over a decade ago, it would not have been, it probably would have been more of my story and how this happened and how whatever. But if you read this book, it principles. Principles work whether you believe them or not. I mean, whether it's a principle.
Yeah.
It's universal. Now, to your point, Lady Dawn, the fact that it says I'm a woman with issues, men might say, wait, that's not for me. But when you read the book, you'll go, oh no, I can use these principles.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Yeah. And men, you can buy it for your sisters, your mothers, your aunts, your cousins,
Your significant other.
the significant other.
Now be nice when you buy it for them, okay? Don't buy it and be like, look, because I know you got issues, because you know how we present stuff. The point is to put that's all still qualified. Do not use it as your opportunity to shout them out.
Right. Like the first part, you got issues.
There's no healing in that. Okay. Right. Don't put the tape over, but I'm still qualified. Don't put no masking tape over it. Just buy it and tell them, baby, you still qualified. That's your sister. And buy it for yourself. Buy it for yourself. Get cross it. If the woman cross out, like I said, that WO coloring it, put a sticker on it. I don't know. But just don't miss out on the nuggets, the gems, and the information that is in here, because it says, so again, issues are not, they do not have a gender. Time and chance happen to us all. Let's see where we are. Paris says it sounds like, Lord, I can't see today.
Yeah, let me read it for you.
It sounds like you needed to.
It sounds like you needed to be spiritually mature.
Please do, because today, listen, life is happening over here with my laptop.
So it sounds like you needed to be spiritually mature to write it, but God planted the seed years ago.
Absolutely, because I needed to grow and I needed to go from here to there, right? So I'm on this side of it, looking back at it and looking at the journey that it took me to get here, and to say, you know what? Every tear, every heartache, every disappointment was worth it to help me become this woman that I am today, and still becoming.
And so we know, Dawn and I know how Harlem Girls
I love that.
Right? How did you birth Harlem Girls?
I love it. And I'm sorry, my internet.
Well, Harlem Girls was actually birthed, believe it or not, one day myself and Coach Pache was sitting around and we're both from Harlem, and we had so many things in common, and it was birthed in my living room. We were sitting there chatting it up, and we were like, let's do this. And we did it. And as a result, we co-authored what was her first book, my second book, together, which was Letting Go, Moving from Broken to Beautiful. And in that book, you will hear more of where I was at that moment. You read that first book and you read this book, to Paris's point, you will see the growth that happened in that moment. But even then, when I wrote that book, God had already given me this title.
Yeah. Is Dawn frozen?
I think she is.
Are you back?
I love this. No, I'm not now. That's what I'm saying. No, Paris, it's not my glasses. My internet has been acting up all day long because they're doing some construction outside. It's been all day and half the night. So everything is delayed. So that's why I'm trying to catch it a little bit. So it's not my glasses. But great conversation. It is not yet, I want to respect Dr. Elaine's time. Y'all know, if you know Dr. E, she don't play about them 60 minutes now. But
I told you I'd give you a little more tonight. I'll give you a little more if you want, but
she's giving you a little more, but don't push it.
I don't
Right.
want to
You
put
know
it.
what I
I
think
don't want to
Harlem
like I go
Girls
out
are?
somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Right. I want y'all to go to the Harlem Girls website. Go get. I am a woman with issues, but I still qualify. And we're going to continue the conversation as well. But I do want to jump to the back of the book because again, I do want to respect your time and we don't want to give the whole book away, because we want you to go get it. And if you go get it and you guys want to come back and have a conversation, we can set something up where we can invite you, those who have purchased the book and read it. I'm sure we can get Dr. E to come back and you can sit and we can have a whole podcast dialogue and we'll have 10 special guests to come and sit with the author and let's talk about it, so you can hear it from her. I said, listen, she's so gifted, so knowledgeable. She's well versed and educated in all things. So it'll be a beautiful experience to have. Let's take it to another level in
Oh yeah, that would be great.
2026.
We should make that happen for real, for real.
Can get her to do that.
I like it.
But the book, jump to the back of the because in the back of the book there are takeaways. And I also view that behind it, within every chapter, there are those reflective moments and those affirmations. And I love that Dr. E set it up so that there are takeaways, points that you can focus on aside from your own. Because sometimes we miss some things along the way. Okay, let's see. Paris says, that sounds great. Absolutely, absolutely. We can definitely make it happen. We are going to make it happen. It's after 8.
I'm gracing tonight, Pastor Sheila. For those of you that don't know, Pastor Sheila actually wrote the
She gave me a little.
Yep, I saw. Yep, she did. Yeah.
I think Dawn is frozen.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm here. Listen, so this is a whole family affair going on here. I'm telling you, this is a win-win with this book, y'all. Get it. Let it start off your January. It's such a smooth read. You're going to go through it because once you start, you're not going to stop. And then you're going to read it a second and a third time because then you're going to go back and highlight. And then you're going to go back the third time and you're going to make some notes. And then you're going to go back the fourth time because you have already put into practice some of the things that you read in the first and the second time so that you're going to read it the third time from different perspectives. It is amazing, I promise you. But I want to go to something in the takeaways that I think is important for all of us. And this is one of the things that stood out the most for me. Because as we were saying in the beginning of the show, it made me think about how many things I started and didn't finish, and what caused me not to finish. And the point in the takeaway that I'm going to read it for you guys. This is the only part of the book I'm going to read for you, is do not wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are. Because that trips a lot of us up. And we discount and disqualify ourselves because everything is not what we consider as aligned. She says, sometimes we wait for the right bank balance, the right education, the right emotional state, the right connections. But just like her, meaning the woman with the issue of blood, you might find your breakthrough in the process, not before. In the process, not before it starts. Perfect conditions are an illusion. God often calls us to begin in the middle of the mess, so his power, not our preparation, gets the glory. And I think that's important to lend to the ears of everyone watching and listening, because we disqualify ourselves before we even start because we're waiting for perfect conditions. And there's no such thing as a perfect condition.
Yeah.
And I love that. So Dr. E, I want to which is that you highlighted it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great reminder. That one was, I'm telling you that I got stuck on certain points in the book that I couldn't even really embrace everything that I was reading, because when something stuck out to me, I had to sit in it for a minute. I had to let it sink in because I didn't want to miss the meaning. But that was takeaway for me,
Mhm.
was a great reminder and a good place for me to start every single day. So
Mhm.
I want to thank you, Dr. E, for coming in on this side of of the podcast. Normally, when she's on the other side on Monday nights, and I get to ride shotgun with her, and I feel so blessed and so fortunate because I got my sis with me. I get to talk about her work, and just how proud I am that I get to call her sister for real, and that I get to cheer for her. I feel like I'm one of her number one cheerleaders. I might be 1.7 because there's other, her kids and stuff is in between there. But I'm in there. I mean, I'm in the number one group. You know what I'm saying? I'm up there.
Paris
Because
said,
it's
"What
a
is
blessing to see good people.
yes?
Mary said,
Listen,
when is the book started? I'm going to let Dr. E answer that. But again, I do want to thank her. Thank you, Dr. E, my sis, for coming and for sharing. I look
Thank
forward to
you.
us setting something up to come back so you can talk with some of your supporters, to come and hear from them, from their lips to your ears, because I think that experience is important to have this kind of conversation for this great work that you have done. So before we let you go, and we might continue the conversation on, just a little bit, I want to give you space to share, have your final thoughts, comments. What do you want to say to people? What do you want them to know? Where can they find you? All of those things.
So
And when
absolutely.
is the
So
book starting, as Paris has said?
okay. So I'll start there. So the book signing, we're looking to do it in March for Women's History Month. So definitely would put the information here, and Mondays Beyond the Mic. As you state on Mondays, I'm on the Bravo with Sheila Network on the other side of the mic on Mondays. So join us Mondays at 7 o'clock as we go through this month. And next Monday, although it's a holiday, we're going to be there. We're going to be talking about mental wellness. Also, you can find me on socials on what is it, under Instagram, Dr. Elaine Sanders, or Dr. E. I can't remember it, right? I'm horrible with that. Or you can find me on Facebook, Elaine Sanders. Yeah, so those are basically where you can reach out and find me working on my new website. Or you can go to harlemgirls.com and you can find all books that I have been a part of, along with Lady Dawn B and Theo. So if you go on Harlem Girls website, you will definitely find information about myself. Thank you again for the opportunity to sit and have this conversation about the book, because, and I say this, I believe this has been my best work ever, because it's definitely empowering to all those. And to your point about not waiting for the perfect conditions of that and that takeaway, and I would leave this is to say, God knows exactly where you are, and He'll meet you where you are, but He won't leave you where you are.
Oh, ma'am. Okay. That's good. Say that one more again. Just tell it one more again.
I said God will meet you where you are, but He won't leave you where you are. So that's the part. We got to say, okay, this is where I am. Meet me here, and He'll meet you here, and He'll take you there, wherever your there is. So it's about trust. It's about moving in purpose and being intentional and quieting the noise around you so that you can become who you're supposed to be. And we will all, I say this, and I say this to my students often, we are born winners. And many times we don't look at it, that we're born winners. How are we born winners? By science, we beat out 299 million sperm cells when our parents got together, and we won. So even before you knew your name, God had already ordained you as a winner, because you won the first race that you was ever in. You hit the egg first. So we were born winners. So if we was winners on the inside, let's win on the outside. And with that, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone who supported on tonight. Please go purchase the book. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it from harlemgirlsforever.com. I appreciate you. I love you. and good night.
Love you, sis.
Listen, Jackie, just amazing, just awesome. I'm so glad that you are here with us on tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed this amazing conversation with Dr. E. Go get the book. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. She did have to leave, and I appreciate her coming in, and I didn't want it to be over just yet. Yes, Paris, you will finally get to meet Dr. Elaine in person, and you will love her just as much, if not more. Um, that is a t-shirt, absolutely. She
Yeah.
says, great perspective. I love it. I'll make sure we get through all the comments. Sharon Lockley says, very interesting, Dr. Elaine, an example of commas and periods. Good stuff. We got to grab the nuggets that are given to us when we have the opportunity to do so. You know, um, and you have to take, even if nothing that you are necessarily walking in the present in that moment. I usually with the buffering. I'll
Mm-hmm.
say maybe this word isn't for you today. You know, when God gives a word, gives a word, but I'll tell people maybe this not for you today. But if it's not, take it, store it in your well so that you have it. So that that you need it, you have it. You won't have to go looking for a word. You already have it. We're all at different crossways of life. We're at different points in life. But the one thing is for sure is that we will all cross the same path. We just do it at different times. Life and chance happen to us all. We all experience joy, pain, life, death, birth, growing, maturing, stagnation, all of those things. And so we all need this information. We all need these tips and tools. It's just, when do we need them? And the worst thing is that not having them at the time that we need them. So whatever you can get it. Whatever's for you. I hope you grabbed it tonight while we had Dr. E. I'm excited, looking forward to her coming back and having some of you, her supporters. We will make sure we're going to figure it out how to do it. Maybe as you purchase the book, we'll send out an email blast for maybe the first 8 people who want to come on and discuss the book with her. Tell her, like, what was a key point for you? What was a key what did you love about it? And that's important for us to do. So, Coach Leo, what was your favorite part of the book? Did you have a favorite part of the book? And
Well,
what was it?
I actually am halfway through. I didn't get to finish it because, I kept going back and rereading chapters and making notes and writing. But I will say, I think that the biggest thing for me was just really the piece about, just fighting through the crowd. Just I think all of us have to realize that it's that faith, right? It's that faith over fear. It's that to be I want to be in a different place so bad that I am going to do everything that I can to get through this crowd, to get to where I want to go and where I want to be. So I would say that chapter 3 really stood out for me. Like chapter 3 was
Yeah, it stuck with me too. And I got stuck there, and then I was like, I wanted to get through the book. I did, but I kept going back. And this book will make you do that. There's another part of the book that she talks about: cancel self-sabotage before it gains momentum. So many amazing points that we need to hear, and especially in this climate, in this culture, can't. I know I feel like I've been for the last months, but where we're at, in life at this, it needs some reminders become sensitized so many things. And I think when we become hopeless is when we quit. But we need something to remind us that no matter what it is that I'm going through, no matter what it is that I'm dealing with, no matter what it is that I'm experiencing, my issue doesn't disqualify me. It's actually a part of what qualifies me as I get through it. My issue is what actually builds strength in all of my muscles, my spiritual life, my personal life. If I didn't have this issue, I wouldn't know I needed that. Sometimes we don't know what's in us until we have an issue. You don't know what you can do until it's challenged.
Yeah, you don't know what you can do until you have to figure it all out, right? And so another chapter was chapter 5, the him versus the him. Activating faith, right? And so, and like you said, I'm not gonna say a lot, but I do want to read this piece because I thought this was important. Where she says she did not need his attention, just access. That is quiet disruption. Her reach did not start with the crowd or even Jesus. Her reach started with a decision, right? And so how many of us get stuck because we can't even make the decision, right? And so that piece was, I was like, okay, a decision that her condition would no longer control her direction, that she would no longer settle for distance when healing was within reach. So, like, for those of you listening, like, what decision do you need to make today?
It's within reach.
Decision to go to Harlem Girl Inc. and order the book, right? What other decision, right, do you need to make?
I think the first decision we had to make is that like she said earlier on, that enough is enough, and that this is not how my story ends. That's the first one. And then when you decide that, do like Coach Steele said, it go to Home Girls Inc. and buy the book, right? Y'all see there's a theme? Y'all see what we're saying? I'm telling you, it is such a blessing. I love the takeaways.
I was about to create a bundle. I was about to say, go buy From Broken to Beautiful by the Sisters with a Bond and by this book. Because
do it. Look, we're here to push each other. We are here to push.
They're all good. I mean, I have them. I'm not just saying that.
And
I really have both the other 2 books as well. And you definitely will see the growth and the progress that, the progression. So
it's wonderful to be able to see someone evolve in their writing. It makes me think about when we first started and just the experience of writing with Harlem Girls. I look at where I am now and I go back to the first book that we wrote. And I look at the other books between then and I'm like, God, I'm proud of myself for taking that journey, but I shortchanged myself also. I see where I silenced my voice for fear of saying something that was going to bust the page wide open, which is what I need to do,
Exactly.
And just how that journey.
And which book did you feel that way about? Was it the one we wrote together?
It was that when I look at that one, which is Loving You Eternally.
Yeah. That's the one I feel like I really
That was,
yeah. But
I often go to that one.
mhm.
Then when I looked at Stepping Into My Purpose, and that was the first book where Ann and I, we were the poet, and that was the first time I was releasing my voice as a poet. And even in that, I pulled back compared to what I write now, um, and it's the responsibility of your words.
Yes.
I was afraid of the responsibility of my words, so I would hold back and kind of gentle when I didn't really want to. And I said that this year going forward, I did last year and into this year. So if y'all thought I was terrible before, I mean, it's just about to get
But,
worse. So
but your
just
next book, the book you're working on now is going to be real. The book you're working
buckle
on
up,
now,
Buttercup.
yeah. I feel like the book you're working on now is going to be everything. It's going to be everything. It's going to say everything. So
It is definitely, it is going to, yes. And I, to be honest, I'm working on two at the same time. Because I'm extra like that. It's just what it is. But these two are definitely going to be my voice. And you just made me realize something too, because one is poetry book and the other one is personal. And it'll be my first, like Dr. Elaine's first, solo. But in these two, I said, I'm not holding anything back. I'm not mincing my words. Matter of fact, I'm intentionally speaking, there goes your word. I'm intentionally speaking in color and loud.
yeah.
And let it hit it, stay, burn it burns, clutch your pearls if you have to, just whatever it's going to take, because it's so important to make sure that your voice is heard, and heard clearly. And then thinking about Dr. E's journey, as she's saying, this book was at 15 years in the making. And had she released it earlier, it wouldn't have been this. So it's like, how many marks did I miss in the books that I wrote previously by holding back, or not releasing when God said, okay, now, and I'm still questioning him, like, no, I'm not going to say that, And then, so I'm telling y'all, get this book. We are telling you, go get this book. It's going to bless you. I love that she puts it out there. She makes it plain, gives you practical
It's very
tools.
practical.
And like, I would read the whole thing to you if I could, but I'm not going to. I want you to go buy it, and then I want you to come back and talk about it.
Yeah, go definitely. This book it really is a book that you want to have one year. You want to have it.
I'm looking forward to the event. Is Stella.
And mine is signed. Is your signed?
Say it again.
Mine is signed. I got to sign.
She did. She did. But you got the extra because you was the pre-order specialness, I'm so she wrote my name. She spelled it right.
But I do think all kidding.
She got my one now. Okay.
Yeah,
seriously though, guys, go purchase.
You want to get this book.
I promise you, it is going to empower you to do the very things that you think that you cannot do, the very things that you think are no longer. This book is going to wake you up, take you to walking.
Yeah, this book
to
is
get exactly what you need.
Book will make people.
So,
it will make you move. It will make you.
Anything you want to
move.
This.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So, guys, anything you want to share with the people before we wrap up on tonight?
No, really, just really get this book. Um, really let this be the year that you embrace the fact that you are a woman or man with issues, but you still qualify. That's what I will say. Like this, like run and purchase this book, and you will not regret it. You will not regret it.
We promise you won't.
Dr. Elaine impacted both of our lives, so you know we're not just saying that. Like he really has had a huge influence. I can speak for both of us. She has had a huge influence on on having us move, right, and just keep moving in the direction that
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So, but that's all I have to say. And next time, tell me when y'all wearing hats.
Well, I always appreciate. We was so surprised. I didn't know what she was just in sync in us. We just say, okay, we're gonna wear hats next day night too. Next Thursday night. Now you don't want to miss. I promise y'all. Come on, tune in because the whole squad is gonna be here. We're gonna try to make sure the men folk are here too. Sir Eric was here, but he dropped off. I wanted to make sure that we gave Dr. E her time and her space to share in her book. But listen, y'all, next week our topic is fumble recovery. We're going to talk about who dropped the love ball. Now, in football, when the opposing team drops the ball and then the other team comes and recovers the ball, don't be mad in a relationship when somebody else picks up the person that you dropped. It's not their fault. How we used to say, don't hate to play a game. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm in space. But again, I want to be loved right the first time. And when you fumble a person, I don't know if it's the same thing as spinning the block or not. But when you fumble someone and then come back later and try to get back in the game with them, you got to understand that it's possibility you may not be welcome. It's a possibility, we have changed and we evolved, and makes you think a person wants to give you the opportunity to drop them again. So I want us to talk about that as we enter into the season of l'amour, of love, Valentine's, because some people don't want to be without a Valentine, so they're going to try to spin the block and go back to the likely person that they think is who's most likely to let me in, and this is men and women. Yep. So we want to talk about that process of the fumble recovery in relationships. And would you go back? Would you allow a person a second opportunity? And if you did, is it just to have somebody on Valentine's Day? Or is it really because you want to give that person a second chance at love? I don't know. I've had I've done my time of do-overs and they did not work out. So I'm a little sketchy on that one. But in any event, join us next Tuesday. Yeah, well, I'm gonna leave that alone because.
So you're not advocating.
I'm gonna leave it alone until next week. I don't think at this point in life I'm advocating for do-overs from a fumble. I don't know. There might be some opportunities to try it again. But if you booked me the first time, I don't think that I struggle. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'll let you know for sure next week.
Nah, I'm
just saying my record. I'm not right. I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm not. I can't do it. I can't do it, Annie. I can't do it. I've tried it. It just does not work for me.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, because you tried it already, so you know it doesn't work. And you have
Right. It
grown.
does. Yeah, it does.
The person will have to, you will have to make sure the person also has grown, because you have grown a lot.
Thank you, sis. See, people don't, I have. I thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I'm, and I want to stay where I've grown to. I want to stay in that space. It means I'm gonna say it means a hell of a lot to me, you
Yeah.
know. And I think because I love people right the first time. I'm not saying I get everything right the first time, but I value them and I care for them right the first time. You
Yeah.
know, so when people mishandle or mismanage me and things like that, I don't want to be I don't want to be a test dummy.
No.
I don't want to be trial and error. And then you
Nope.
got to get to know me now because I'm definitely not the same person, that I was. So yeah, we're gonna talk about who
And
dropped the love ball.
sometimes
So
it's gonna
it's
be a
gonna be
good
good.
thing, especially if the poet is there.
Oh, listen, I hope AJ is able to come in. I hope Moose is able to show up. We got to get the brethren. We know Sir Eric will be here. And listen, it's going to be toxic on a different level when it comes because we're going to hash it out. We're not combative, but we just want to talk it out. We just want to talk it out. That's all. It might be a little a different version of verses, but let's see. You know, um, but I'm looking forward to the conversation because guess what? Again, Valentine's Day is coming up, and we should be loving each other all the time. But we know this time of year, everybody's trying to, buddy up. Everybody trying to hold on to their cuffing season love, because cuffing season is soon to end. A lot of people wrap it up before Valentine's Day, so we don't have to buy a gift,
And
you
I was
know.
gonna say, a
But we're
lot of
gonna
people,
talk about it so that we can go into February.
the right way.
Listen, I ain't mad at the brand new things. I feel, yeah. I think if you're gonna try to come back around for a second time with me, you have to be absolute. You have to be almost like you are a brand new person that I never met before.
Yeah.
Because any signs of the old you is, I'm like, nah, I
Mhm.
can't. But if you come as a brand new, almost, totally different person, then, like, let me get to know you over again. Let me get to know you as if I didn't know you before.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Maybe then I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta let you
So
know. I mean, because the person has to be,
we'll see.
there has to be an alignment, because everybody can't go where God's about to take you. Because
Oh, that's true.
you
Now
got some big,
that is
yeah, you got some big stuff you're about to do. So, and whoever it is needs to
yeah,
be able to
yeah.
understand and handle that. So, yeah.
you
So,
know, need to, and I need to be able to go with joy. I need to be able to go free with joy. I need him to be confident in who he is and who I am, and understanding that no matter what I do when I'm doing it, um, it doesn't take away from who we are. It's not competing with who you are to me, because they get that part of me, but you get all of me.
yeah. But
And I
that's
need
the
him to
most
be
important.
comfortable in his own skin as I'm becoming. I don't want to. That was one of the problems. Yeah, yeah. So it's different. You gotta see who I am and be excited about watching me grow. You know, At the end of the night, I'm like, I'm coming home to you, you know. So, and I need that confidence. Like, you know, when I come off the stage, let me just melt into being, you know, the little girl and just, you
Yep.
know, be all up in your armpit, you know.
You need that person that is
Let me see
comfortable.
the 8:30. After 8:30, I was gonna say, you know, let me.
Yeah, I was about to say you're about to. Yeah, it's 8:40, so you're about to go after dark.
Yeah, I am. I was about. I was going. I was going. I was absolutely going after dark. You know, I don't just say, listen, at this big old age, look, we had our serious, you know, this is just a warm up fix. That's all. We had our serious talk.
Yeah,
But I
I
think
mean,
it's important. I think it's important. I said it this 56. I made up my mind. Live, I don't want to live confined.
mhm.
You know, I want to be free. I want to love openly. Um, I kept myself on a shelf. I'm dating. I'm not considering it. I'm just not. You know, it's like I don't have time. And not to say that I haven't gone out, you know, and dated the past few years and whatnot, but I really wasn't trying to be in relationship space. You know, um, but I also find now I'm at a space where it's like, you know, all the things that we do, I'm not going to say they're not worth it to do it alone because it is. You know, you have to be you. But I think it's beautiful when you have someone to share that with, you know, and to be a part of it with you. And especially as a woman out here, you want a man who can cover you and handle you and, you know, be able to manage who you are and let you rest in them. You know, like be my protector, be that, be him, you know, be Big Daddy, you know, be that. Um, and so
But I think the
yeah, the
important thing
journey
that
is sweeter when you got it. I
but
think
I think the
I'm ready.
yeah, but I think the important thing that you said is right. It's like you're ready for it, right? But it's not something that you need, but it's something that you're ready for, right? And so it's different when you show up in that sense of this is not something that I need, like, but this is something that I'm ready for, I'm open to, but if it don't work out, I'll be good, right? And I think that's the best part of the season that you're in, right? Is that you're open
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. I take it. Yeah, you said it well.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm just trying to get outside this year. I'm trying to do that for you, right? To get
I'm so proud of you, though, 'cause you work.
I
Listen,
think
y'all pray with me, okay? Y'all pray with me. I'm trying to get myself outside. First of all, I'm proud of you. I have to acknowledge I'm proud of her, y'all. Listen, we cutting up now, but I'm just saying, because now she's considering going outside. Before it was like she wasn't even thinking about it. Would annoy her if I was going outside. Now she's like kind of okay, you know. So we getting there. There's progress.
I just
She
told
gonna be
someone,
outside by the summertime. She gonna be outside. If
I
I have
said,
to
I'm
go
trying to get
outside,
outside for my sis because if you leaving up to me, I literally am so happy in my home. But listen, I've been going outside. Watch. I'm coming out. Coming out.
I believe you. I see. What did you tell me a little while ago? I see your growth. I see
Exactly.
she's not as resistant. She's
Yeah.
starting to embrace it. So I'm grateful for that because we didn't always have that. It was a fight. She'd be like, "You take outside. Look, you can have it." You know,
Yeah.
she's like, "Give me my pajamas and I'll be right here. Fish outside, I'll be right here." But
My
now I'm like,
pajamas and
it's
my Christmas movie.
progress.
I'm good. So I'm good. But I'm going outside. Like I really am. Listen, I was just telling someone this is my 60th year. God willing, April 28th. I'll be 60 years old.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I'm going to embrace all
And
of
we
it.
gonna celebrate.
Yes. We want to embrace all of that.
We want to celebrate
So
because that is a blessing. It's time to live, y'all.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
time to
but
live. It's time to be happy living. It's time to take the list off, you know, start doing some things that you normally wouldn't do, you know, stop boxing, just get to know people. You
yeah,
know,
get out.
that's the thing. Just get to know someone. You never know what will happen. Just stop thinking about 6 now we're married. Um I'm saying, you know, stop thinking about age so much, you know, get to
Yeah,
know a person. I had to tell myself that. Like, you know, sometimes we box ourselves in, you
yeah. You
know,
just gotta,
allow yourself the freedom to get to know people.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
just and without any. I'm not gonna say you can't have
Oh,
expectations.
hey,
When you're, oh, who's she? Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Hi, my baby girl. My niece, y'all. I love her.
But without the whole, going into a relationship, and as soon as you start, you're already planning a wedding. No, just meet people. Just say hello. Just get to know people. Just right, without any agenda. You know.
Like, go out, just laugh, learn to laugh, enjoy. Throw on your sweats and your Nikes and put your hair up in a messy bun. Just go out and just be, you know, just be relaxed. Just be yourself because at the end of the day, we can do all this good stuff, but the person that we come home to is you know the leggings and t-shirt. You know, it's you know what I'm saying it's the common
Yep.
things that we do, and that's what you that's the part of people that we miss quite often, you know, because we're so busy trying to impress one another. I'm tired. I ain't got no time to impress you. I'm gonna tell you this is who I am, this is what I do, how you see me now. And you know, Coach Theo can attest to it. I'm like this all the time. I'm like this in every arena.
Yeah.
Even when we do things, you know, when we go, we've done book signings and things like that. This is me. This is doing 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. And I'm like, this is all I got. So ain't no
Yeah.
sense in me trying to sell you on something that ain't so, because eventually you gonna get to this anyways. I just tell you straight up, you know. But
And take a lesson. And
just
take a
the year
lesson.
to live, you know, and to do so joyfully. So,
Yeah. And take a lesson from me. Throw away the list. Remember the list I had?
yeah, like stop over it. Stop over. And I'm logical, so you know, but I had to get out of my own way. Go enjoy. Go do something, you know, like go paintball or, you know, I don't know. Do something that requires you to, you know, I'm just saying, just go live. Life's too short.
I mean,
Enjoy
I will
it. So
say
yeah.
one.
So next
Yeah,
Thursday. Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I really got real comfortable with is enjoying my own time. Like I could go to the movies by myself. I could go eat by myself. I could go places by myself. Yeah, of course, I don't mind going with other people, but there's something about enjoying your own company because it helps you not be dependent on somebody else for the happy. Like people can't make you happy. Happiness
Mm-hmm.
is from other people, right? So I think that's important
Not
too.
at all.
You know, is to learn how to embrace. You know, spending time with yourself, which is why I'm ready to go outside
Yeah, I agree.
because I'm
As you
comfortable.
should be, because you're
Skin.
beautiful. The world needs to know.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Listen, I love the fact that you said that, you know, you have to make it because you make yourself happy. Don't allow anyone else to take your happiness away. If you're not adding to my happiness, then you gotta go. You know, that's how I see it. Like I make me happy. I'm at the point of where I don't protect my peace because my peace grown up and it knows to protect itself. You
Yep.
know, so it does what it needs to do. So now I'm just be me and enjoy. You know, I don't have to go into situations guarded. I've learned how to trust me, you know, and to trust what I'm feeling. If something is not what I want, it's okay. It's not what I want. This is not how I want to be treated. This is not how I want to be handled. This is not how I want to be, you know, touched in the sense of not so much physically, you know, but this is not how I want to be. These are not the experiences that I want to have, you know, and it's okay. And it doesn't mean that, you know, the bad person or people, you know, are bad people. It just means that what I want and what I'm getting don't match right now, you know, and we have to be honest with that. And it's okay. Like it is
Yeah.
it's okay. You know, you can be great, the best of friends. And I think in relationship, friendship that we can maintain no matter what. I mean, as everyone knows, you know, my ex-husband is on, you know, platform every Thursday, you know, and we have the best friendship people could possibly have, you know. He's living his life. He's remarried. I love his wife. You know, that's my girl. And but we all, you know, but it's the core of like being at peace and knowing that it's okay that something doesn't work out maybe the way you want it to. The blessing is that you had the experience and you can still walk away valuing that person as a friend, you know? So allow yourself some room to just experience life this year. Like I want to do everything. I'm ready to be outside in a worse way now. Yeah.
Yeah, like peace is a
so y'all watch out because you know if you see
yeah, I'm down here, so
it definitely is.
I'll be watching.
But that's why I said I don't have to protect my peace. And my peace is through enough that it knows how to protect itself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Anybody that knows me knows, like,
You know,
someone just said it to me today. They was like, I could look at you and tell. I said, yeah, like I don't allow anything to disturb like I have created when a space that is peaceful. Even if you walk into my house, it's like you could feel the energy is peace. And if you're not bringing that, then you're not welcome. So
yeah. My son tells his friends all the time when they come, everybody know you come to my house, be like, now y'all know mommy don't play. Y'all know mom, we don't do this up here, you know, y'all know mom. It's peace and harmony over here. We harmony and love. Like,
nobody got time for that.
I was like, Jay, really? He was like, Mom, because it's true. So, yeah, I've been like that with him since he was a kid. Like, I'm gonna bring that energy in my house. Like, we're not doing it. Leave it outside. We'll stay outside the door until. But because this is where we live. Like, this, you know, we gotta be rest here. They can't have all that. We don't do tension, you know. But yeah. So y'all join us next week. This is a little preemptive conversation. You know, we're gonna talk about fumble recovery in relationships. Who dropped the love ball? Have you ever been fumbled? Think about that, y'all. Have you ever been fumbled? Have you ever fumbled somebody? You know, would you give that same person a second chance? And what does that look like? Let the math don't matter to me no more. Like I said, I've tried it. I always said that I would never go back. And then I did it. And I did it twice. And both times I did it, it did not. It ended.
So here's what I'm going to say. That's why you're not going to try it again, because you don't need to be like the third time it's a charm, right? No, you did it twice. It didn't work. That's it.
That's not the third time the charm that I wanted to be. You know, exactly. If I have a third time to be a charm, I don't want to use it for that. I don't want to use it.
So that's what I'm saying. You don't want to
use it. Like, yeah, you know.
That is not what you want to use it
Yeah,
for.
yeah. I think.
Because
Yeah, I need you to
you're about to listen. You're about to be coach. You're about to be Coach
something, but
Dawn.
yeah.
Uh,
It's we live and we learn. So this thing, it's gonna be a real good conversation. So y'all think about those questions now, and next week when we come back, like I said, we're looking forward to the men folk being here, so we can get the men to weigh in on this topic and conversation. And we want to gear up for February. Now, February. I'm gonna make sure that we have our. Y'all know one of my topics is we're gonna talk about the thicker than a snicker fluffy nation team. You know, of being
all right.
pretty big girl. Y'all already know. It's that season. So I gotta talk to my fluffy loves. We're gonna talk it out in February. We got some good conversations coming up. So
Yep.
y'all make sure that you tune in, bring a friend, and with Core, as always, we love having you here and we look forward to seeing you then. So you guys have a great night. Coach Theo, you are the most amazing as always.
Love you.
And we'll see y'all next week at 7 p.m. And hey, if you're free tomorrow night at 7:30, you can join me across the street at the Sheila Ingram Network at 7:30. I'm going to switch hats. I'll be over there, Elder Dawn B, sharing a word with spirituality, 30 minutes of encouragement through word, song, and prayer. Come and get your weekend started with a little boost of word. And we never know what's going to happen over there, but we have a good time. All things good, all things God. So make sure you tune in. We'll see you guys later. Good night, everybody.
Good night.